segment to the training demonstration I had again. It's November 29th, and this is Ella from North Star Goldens. I wanted to demonstrate her doorway manners, what she's expected to do when going through a door. And I also wanted to demonstrate her leash training, the attention walking that she's been taught. Good girl. So just a brief explanation with the leash training, there's basically two kinds of walks, leash walks that I take the puppies for. When I'm taking them out for their enjoyment, like out to a park or to the foothills or somewhere out away from traffic where it's safe, and I don't want them to have to think constantly about what they're doing and what they're supposed to be doing and what they're not supposed to be doing, then I take them for either a long lead walk, like I'll use a 10 or a 15-foot leash, or I'll do an off-leash walk, where they're off-leash and they're expected to come and check in about every 30 seconds and just come and take a treat from my hand. And just call her to come, and she'll come and check in and take a treat from your hand, and then go ahead and immediately release her to go again, so that that doesn't end the walk for her, and then she'll never fail on her come. When we need to get from point A to point B, and I really need her to walk on a loose leash and pay attention to me, then we do what's called attention walking. And what that is I just use like a 4 or 5 foot normal leash, just like this, a typical flat collar, and then there's 2 commands that I use to let her know that we need to go. When we're ready to go, I say, let's go, and then we walk. And if she starts pulling, I stop and I say, easy. And it's really important that you absolutely stop and wait for her to put slack back in the leash and wait for her to start paying attention to you again. A lot of times I see people kind of walking and tugging, saying, easy, 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 easy. But that doesn't teach them anything other than just to push through you to get to where they're going. So they absolutely need to stop moving and not be able to make any progress until they're on a slack leash. And you really want to kind of maintain this J shape in the leash. Good girl, that's the slack that you want. And when I'm loose leash walking or attention walking, I'm not fussy about what side I want them on, left or right. I just want them to be, I want them to maintain this J shape in the leash. I want them to be responsive to my verbal commands, and I want them to be paying attention to me. I want them to change directions when I change directions. I want them to sit automatically when I stop, and a lot of times they need a reminder. You know, when you stop, just say, ask for a sit, and they'll sit. But again, as you are consistent about asking for that, eventually it'll just become an automatic behavior. But she does it automatically quite a bit already. And that's what we want from her for attention walking. Another thing that's really going to help you, and this is how we taught her attention walking, is not only do you want her paying attention to you, but especially while you're learning this together, you need to be paying attention to her, a lot of attention. And whenever she looks up at you, for whatever reason, you need to mark it and reward it and say, okay, good girl, and reward every time she's making eye contact with you and breaking focus on anything else and looking at you. And if you're really consistent that way and good at asking for that all the time, then when you go out for a loose leash walk, she's just going to walk paying attention to you, because you're the most exciting thing going on. Because if she's looking at you, she's getting all kinds of rewards. She's getting toys, she's getting attention, she's getting love, she's getting treats. And another important fact too is when you're doing this kind of walking, I don't let them stop and sniff and check stuff out. You know, I don't let them chase the leaves or check out the birds or go check somebody out or whatever, unless I give them permission to. Otherwise, when you take them out for that kind of a walk, they're going to get totally preoccupied with those kinds of things. They're just going to want to go see what's out and about, because that's what's so exciting about the walk. But you want to make yourself the most exciting thing about the walk, not everything else, so that she's paying attention to you. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll try to stay in the frame here again like I did before. I'm going to walk back and forth and demonstrate her loose leash walking or attention walking. And then I'm going to take her through this doorway and show you what's expected of her going through a door. Let's go. Let's go. Good. I know it's hard to to see, but I'm doing lots of changes of direction. I want her to maintain that J. I want her to pay attention to where I'm going and what I'm doing. I want her to be responsive, let's go, to my verbal commands. And then when I stop, I want an automatic sit. Good girl. That's a good puppy. And then this is going right back to that all good dogs fetch toys, okay? Gates and doorways. Always make sure that she waits for you to go through first. And if she tries to go through, just hurry and use your knee, give a little goalie block. Expect her to stay. You can even ask her for a stay. Stay. Okay. And then give her that verbal release after you've gone through. You want to come inside? You want to come inside? Stay. Okay. Good girl. Good girl. She's done really well with doorway manners, and that's what you can expect out of her. So, good girl.